Hey guys, I want to talk about Xbox One. First, I want to talk about how stupid the name is. It's a really stupid name, because when you make when you have a system called an Xbox, and then you make a second system and you call that one the Xbox 360, that automatically appends 1 to the name of the first Xbox. Now I call it the Xbox One versus the 360. Have you ever played Kung Fu Chaos? Oh, I don't know, what system is it for? Oh, it's for the Xbox One. That's what I would say right now in my normal life. That's my current progression of dialogue when I'm talking about an Xbox original game. I mean, yeah, I can call it an Xbox original, but you know the PlayStation was called a PlayStation. Then they made a PlayStation 2, and that made PlayStation a PlayStation 1. Like, if I say to you, hey, have you seen Rambo? You'll say, which one? And I'll say the first. Because nobody calls, like, when there's a franchise with a bunch of numbers, nobody refers to the first one as just the name anymore. You have to specify which one you're talking about, because Xbox is now all of the Xboxes. So now there's an Xbox One, a 360, and then make another one. Why did they call it 360? Let's go back there. Sorry, I got a little sneezy. Why did they call it 360? I don't remember. I think because they're revolutionizing gaming. It's a revolution in gaming, which is fine. The 360 is cool. Why wouldn't you not keep on revolutionizing gaming by going 720, by going 1080? Revolutionize gaming further. What is that, too boring? You did it one time, so now you can't do it anymore. Now it's too boring and too old. It's too passé. So you got to call it the Xbox One? What the fuck's an Xbox One? What does that mean? I mean, what is the focus group they used? I can't even imagine. They got a group of regular people, like myself and my friends, and they go, okay, here's a bunch of names for the Xbox. We have the Xbox Next. We have the Xbox Prime. We have the Xbox Alive. We have the Xbox Extreme. And the Xbox One. Which is your favorite? Are you seriously telling me that a focus group chose Xbox One out of like a list of choices? I mean, you're fucking Microsoft. Hire some like real designers and creatives to like come up with a name. Xbox One. It's terrible. It's so boring. It makes me want to yawn. Honestly, I like PlayStation 4 better. At least it's not so pretentious. One, as in like what? You got first place? Like you're number 1 in the console war? How boring. How it makes me gag. So, okay, now that that's over with, I mean, honestly, I haven't heard anybody, like I've been watching Twitter, I watched the reveal. It's been nothing but a running joke that Xbox One is a bad name. I've heard X-Bone, like XB1, X-Bone. I like that, actually. That's kind of funny. But, you know, okay, the name aside, what do I think? I watched the reveal. I'm kind of curious to see what happens in E3 because reports are mixed. And a lot of things aren't just Xbox's fault, but the industry in general, you know. But as far as the Xbox, what do I know? I know that it comes bundled with Kinect. I hate Kinect. I hate motion control. I've always hated it since the Wii. I want it to get out of my life. The fact that I can use my hand gestures to go to the home screen by doing this, there was nothing wrong with pushing the B button. I would prefer to sit there still and just push the B button instead of having to look like an asshole in front of my guests by dragging my screen and like navigating my screen. I also don't want to talk to my TV. I am very fine with controlling my TV with the remote control. I don't need to tell it, Xbox, go to my Skype. Who uses Skype on Xbox, by the way? Can we go there? I've never seen that happen. I know Skype's been on Xbox for a long time. I've never used it. Same with Internet Explorer. Who's using Xbox as a browser? Anyone? I mean, I'm hoping somebody does, because they're wasting a lot of fucking time and energy integrating Skype and Internet Explorer with Xbox. Can I download Chrome? That's what I'd like to do. Or better yet, I'm not going to navigate anything on that piece of shit controller. So, okay, it comes bundled with Kinect, and it has voice controls and motion control. Couldn't be less interested. The controllers, you know, I hope the controllers have a wired option. I know wireless is a thing. I hate wireless. I prefer wired. Why? Well, because I hate running out of batteries that much. I understand the convenience of not having a wire, and I get my dog will run by and knock the wire out, and that pisses me off. And when I move my controller, I knock my drink over. I live with all of that because I hate running out of batteries that much. Every time I've had a wireless controller, you know what happens to it? Once it runs out of batteries, I put it in a drawer and buy a wired controller to replace it with. That's my process. That's how much I hate wireless. So I know that's a movement, and I really hope either two things happen. A, controllers can be powered wirelessly. Like, I want them to just get power all the time. Or B, they have wired options. I'm not sure. I really hope they don't go wired only, like Apple did. You know, Apple went wireless only with their mice. I don't think you can get a wired mouse anymore from Apple. It sucks. So I gotta, like, buy a different mouse. The controllers look awesome, okay? They look great. I can't feel them, but they look like they feel great, if that makes sense. I heard something really cool. I heard that the triggers have variable resistance based on the programming, which means that, like, the game can actually make it harder to press the trigger or easier, or like make the trigger maybe like crunchy, maybe. That sounds really cool for in my like already in my like I'm already been brainstorming for two reasons. First, in a shooter, you can have guns actually feel different to fire. Like, some guns can have a really stiff trigger versus a really good trigger. Like, you can have an identical pistol, except for one is a stiff trigger, one is a light trigger, and that would make that a totally different gun. Like, that would just be really cool to have different tactile sensations when you're shooting. So that's cool. And also, I was automatically thinking of picking a lock. Like, let's say you're using a D-pad to control some interface element, and then pushing the trigger to do a different interface element. And you can actually hear or, like, feel a clicking, like, feel like you're snagging on a lock when you're, like, picking a lock or doing any kind of tactile sensation, like doing surgery. You know, like, let's say you're, you know, doing a surgery game with Kinect and whatever. But in the Kinect part, using a trigger, and the trigger is, you know, like you're sawing through bone, and that's a... You can see where I'm going with that. That sounds really cool, and that's a cool innovation that I like in the controller. That's cool. I'd also like to see lighting in the controller. I think that would be cool too. Like, the light would light up when you're powered up, and you can see, like, in your peripheral vision, the controller would be like blue or green or red, like a spider sense. But imagine a spider sense where the controller would, like, glow. That would be cool, right? I don't think that they glow, but the triggers are definitely a cool innovation. Then we have... this is, like, kind of speculation because I'm not sure how this is going. But from what I put together, you still have to go to the store to buy a game, but then you have to go home and download the game. You only use the disc as authentication. So the question here is, why have a disc? Why would you waste production money making CDs and boxes and posters and, like, inlays and manuals when you're just letting me download the game? I don't get why you're wasting that money. How about instead you make games cost half the price and save 100% in production? Is that too obvious? Because you're so hungry for money that you'll keep on fucking us with $60 price tags in video games when we all know that's a complete joke? You're making us download the game from a cloud anyway. Why are you charging us $60 still? And then on top of that, they're making it so you pretty much can't sell your game back because it's downloaded, and then you sell the disc. And then if somebody else buys the disc, they still got to download the game. So there's no more selling the game or loaning it to your friend or, you know, borrowing a game or buying it from eBay. Now you just have to buy the entire game all the time. So I guess you're just going to put GameStop totally out of business. And can you rent games then? Can you even rent them at Redbox? Because you have to download them and pay a fee? I mean, from what I heard is you authenticate your download with the disc. And then once you've done that, that disc is dead. Unless you re-authenticate it. Which means you got to pay a fee. And that fee is going to cost what the game costs. So, you know. So here's how the thing's going to go. Like, let's say Grand Theft Auto 10's coming out or whatever. You're going to go to GameStop at midnight because you want to get the game. Although GameStop's already out of business. So you go to, you know, Walmart, whatever's around. You go in there, you wait in the line at midnight. You're waiting in line, everybody's all excited. You get your game, you go home, it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. You get on, now you got to download it. Well, so is everybody else in the world. They're all downloading Grand Theft Auto right now. So guess what? You're never going to download it. Not today. So forget ever getting a game on release day again. It's just not going to happen anymore. Because now, it's all about, you know, getting it and downloading it. So that's going to be a fucking beat. That's really stupid and annoying. And I mean, obviously I could see why that's good for the developer. And that's good for Xbox, because now everybody's paying full price. But it's really bad for the community. You know, it's really bad for gamers. And in the end, you want to make the gamers happy. That's why, you know, I mean, I hate Steam too, but that's why Steam is so successful, because they sell games cheap. They let you get the game on as many devices as you want. They let you pretty much do whatever you want. You know, it's kind of nice. The only problem is you always got to be on Steam, which I hate. But at least they're cheap, because there's no illusion on Steam that letting you download a game from a server is not expensive. These game developers have been hiding behind, whoa, we gotta make these CDs and press all these things and mail them everywhere, and the stores have to keep them in stock and employ employees. That's all bullshit when we're talking about downloading them, you know? So, you know what I'm looking for? They all talk about better graphics. Look how much better the graphics are. They showed a bunch of sports games with, look how lively the audience is, look how realistic the dog is, look how realistic the facial hair is. You know, I just don't care. There's a point, and that point already happened for me back on, like, the first Xbox, the Xbox One. It already happened, where I just didn't care about graphics anymore. Like, I could play Halo 1, and comparatively, Halo 1 looks way worse than Halo 3, you know, or whatever the latest Halo is. It looks way worse. But I could play Halo 1 and not really care, because the game is good. You know, like, graphics are good enough. I'm done worrying about it. Any game, I'm not going to go, oh, the graphics are nice. They're always nice. You know what I spend my time playing? I spend my time playing Civilization 4, you know, and Super Nintendo, like when I'm bored. I play Ninja Gaiden. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about graphics anymore. They're fine. Once they're out of the Atari Nintendo era, I think generally they're pretty darn good. And how good the facial hair is really secondary compared to what you're doing with games nowadays. You know what I'm interested in? Massively online games on console that are like fast action games. I want games where players control everybody. Like, I want like an action adventure where everybody's like when you go to the field to fight a bunch of bandits, players are the bandits. Like, you go into the game and you can actually play your campaign, or just go into like what's called arcade mode, where you just pretend you're a bandit and you're like a really bad version of a player, and you attack players just to hassle them, just for fun. And you like rack up money maybe for, you know, whatever, for your customization, or you rack up some kind of achievements, whatever it may be. But you're just like, everybody in the game is a character. That would be fun. I'm talking like 300 players playing in a server, and everybody's got a part to play. Or like you hop into a war game where there's a battle ongoing, and you just hop into it, and the battle just never stops moving. That would be cool. The biggest game I've ever played on Xbox is 16-player Halo 3, 8 on 8. And that was the biggest I could play. You know, it was fun. It was fun. I liked it. It felt like I was in really a part of a giant war. But now that it's all server-based and the processor is so intense, how about like 256-player war? I mean, like, let's reenact a civil war. I'm serious. Let's go like drill lines, serious business. That would be cool. I'm looking for games like that. You know, like, that's innovation I'm looking for, and that's not what I'm seeing. I'm kind of seeing the same old shit, except for now with more Skype integration. You know, more motion control. I'm just not that impressed. I'm really not. And then, you know, it's not reverse compatible, which is just a kick in the nuts to me. And I know Xbox One and Xbox 360, Xbox One, the first Xbox, they were not really reverse compatible either. I mean, some games you kind of like they tried. PlayStation and PlayStation 2 were. I'm not sure how this. I don't know if PS1, PS2, and PS3 were, but you know, I really just want it to be, and I'll tell you why. Because I've invested probably many thousands of dollars in Xbox games. I've got a lot of 360 games, and I've got a shitload of Xbox original games, and I'm really mad the ones I can't play. I'm mad. And the 360 games, especially the ones I downloaded, that I don't even have the disc for, like the one like Shadow Complex and, you know, Castle Crashers. These are games that I want to play, and they're on my Xbox. Once my Xbox red rings, which you know it's programmed to do on the day of release of Xbox One, right? All the 360s are going to red ring. That's Microsoft's ploy. They've already programmed that shit in. Don't download your Xbox updates, because that's what's in those updates right now. Those games are just gone forever. You can't ever play them again. You know, I mean, they might get re-released on 360. I mean, on One, I guess. You know what that asshole had the nerve to say? I don't know who it was, but he said, any console that's reverse compatible is thinking backwards. And then he had the balls to say only 5% of players take advantage of reverse compatibility. Well, where the fuck do you get that stat, bro? Because Xbox and 360 sure as hell didn't provide that stat for you, because it wasn't reverse compatible. Did you get it from PlayStation? Did you somehow get that information from PlayStation? I would like to see the sample size, because I would definitely love it to be reverse compatible. I would like my $3,000 investment in 360 to move forward instead of having me start over. That's bullshit. I mean, maybe they can release like a peripheral attachment that's like, put your 360 game here and play it here. That'd be awesome. And they better announce that soon, because it's going to be a prime decision for me, whether I buy an Xbox or a PlayStation. Because in my eyes, the systems are identical, except for I hate Microsoft. So my decision's pretty clear. Microsoft's only hurt me, and they've never helped me. And I've been a customer for 10 years, and I've paid them for my Xbox Live forever, and I spent $3,000 on games, and they've given me fuck all in return. And now they want me to spend another $600 on a new console just to fuck all my games up? Why would I do that? I mean, explain. I would like to hear one good reason why I should get an Xbox One at this point. The only good reason would be, at least you can play all your old games that you bought. That would be the only good reason. I'm not seeing that now. So, I guess my review of Xbox One so far is 0 out of 1. There's nothing going on there. There's no innovation, starting from the name, which is negative innovation, on down. I mean, the graphics are better. They're still trying to get Skype and Internet Explorer to happen. They're still trying to make those things happen. Put that shit away. No one's using that shit. So, that's where it is. I'm probably going to get a PlayStation. I mean, I'm probably going to resist buying a new console for as long as I can. My Xbox is probably going to break soon, and then, I'm going to have to make a move. So, I hope this was informative. Thanks for coming on my drive home with me, and I'll see you next time.